Are you thinking about coming on a paradise vacation to Bali? Well, you are in the right place because I'm going to tell you 12 things you need to know before you go. I wanted to share with you 12 helpful things to get you on the path to Bali, and we're going to talk about apps that we used. I'm going to talk about banks that we went to, our experiences with SIM cards, and a few items that you probably should pack if you're thinking about coming to Bali. And if you've ever wondered, what's the number one thing I probably shouldn't do when I go to Bali? Don't worry, I'm going to tell you that too. I also have some upcoming travel plans to share with you. That's going to be at the end of the video, so I hope you stick around. Let's get ready to go to Bali. The first thing you're going to consider is when you're going to come to Bali. So the ideal time to come to Bali is between April and October. And Jay and I went to Bali in November, a little bit into December, and let me tell you, it rained a lot. Even though it was the beginning of rainy season, it rained a lot. And when I say rain, I don't mean a little sprinkle and then the sun came out. No. It was torrential downpours, even made walking on the sidewalks difficult. Driving is almost impossible because when it rains that much, it basically floods the streets. So just be aware, if you're going to Bali, steer clear of the rainy season. Go in between April and October. Number two, what apps should you download before you go to Bali? There are two that are really helpful when you go to Bali. That is the Grab app and the Gojek app. And these are basically like taxi services. They're also like grocery delivery, food delivery. It will definitely help you out for two reasons. One reason is it is cheaper to get around on a Gojek or a Grab taxi because they're typically scooters, so very easy and inexpensive to get around Bali. They obviously know where they're going and what they're doing, so put your trust in the Gojek and the Grab app drivers. Also, if you happen to experience Bali belly and you're down and out, you can order food, your medications, and get them delivered right to you so you don't have to go out and about when you're sick and don't feel like moving. So two really good apps to download. Also, we used Google Maps. Every day we used Google Maps to get around. We also used Facebook and WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a huge communications between businesses. For example, if you wanted to renew visas, I'll talk about that later, but we used WhatsApp for communicating with different companies while we were in Bali. Number three, if you are considering driving in Bali, you are going to have to get an international driver's license from your home country before you arrive in Bali. So just something to think about if you want to have a little bit of an adrenaline rush or experience what it's like to drive in Bali. Let me tell you, it can get chaotic and heavy traffic at times. But we found mostly that was in like little towns and little cities that we were in. Once you got out of those areas, it was a little bit better to drive. But we experienced so much on our scooter. I would definitely recommend it if you're comfortable, if you're a scooter or a motorcycle driver, definitely rent a scooter. Fourth thing you should know before coming to Bali is have a little bit of cash on hand. So you are going to have to pay for your visa on arrival if that's how you're entering Bali like we did. You are going to have to pay 500,000 IDR per person to get into Bali for 30 days. So before you go through immigration, there's like a little kiosk just to your right. They do accept visa and cash, but in our experience, we tried to use our visa and it did not work. So make it easier on yourself. Have 1 million IDR if you're traveling with two people. I know it sounds like a lot of money, but it's only $87 Canadian, and you'll be off through immigration onto baggage claim and having a great time on your Bali vacation in no time. Fifth thing to think about is cell phone plans. We ended up going with Telkom and we got a plan for 30 days and we just extended it for the extra little bit of days at the end of our stay. So when you get through the process of immigration and your visa on arrival, you head over to baggage claim to get your bags. There is a kiosk for Telkom right at baggage claim. So I waited for our bags and Jay headed over with our two cell phones and picked out a plan. They popped in the SIM card and we had our phone plans up and running before we even had our bags. We did find Wi-Fi pretty much anywhere and we did try out a lot of cafes, but we just didn't find Wi-Fi that was exceptionally fast. So just keep that in mind. If you are coming to Bali, don't really want to purchase a cell phone plan. You can use Wi-Fi, it just won't be lightning speed. I wanted to talk about bank machines in Bali, and when we were in Ubud, we used the Maybank. Now, you could probably use many different bank machines. A lot of the bank machines are physically at banks, so they have security guards, they're very safe. But Maybank, for us, it allowed us to take out 3 million IDR at one time. So we thought that was very convenient for us because we like to use cash. You may not like to use cash when you go. You might like to use your Visa and only have a little bit of cash. But we found that when places offer to use your Visa, they will charge a little bit more, like a 3% charge to use your Visa. And wheeling and dealing at markets and stuff, it's nice to have cash. A lot of them don't have the tap for Visa at the markets. Some do, some don't. But it's just a matter of what you're comfortable with. If you're like us and like to use cash while you're traveling, use the Maybank. It allows you to take out the most cash at one time. Another thing to consider before coming to Bali is that Bali is a very environmentally friendly island, and when you go to the grocery store or go to the convenience store, you will not be offered a bag to carry your goods. So I would recommend bringing a reusable cloth bag. They're good for groceries, for your laundry, covering your shoes and your backpack. They're very easy to clean and quick to dry. Another thing I wanted you guys to know is the roads in Bali are very underdeveloped, and the footwear that you decide to bring when you come to Bali is very, very important. Like even walking down the sidewalks are broken, they're very uneven, there's holes in the middle of them, dirt piled on the sidewalk, so you're always bobbing and weaving and jumping over things. Flip-flops aren't the best. If you're going to the beach, great. But if you're just out and about walking, bring a hiker or bring a good walking shoe. And if you're especially going to go to waterfalls, there are lots of stairs. It gets really wet. It's really treacherous, so not ideal for flip-flops. This one is just a quick need to know. If you've never traveled to Southeast Asia or been to Bali, sunscreen is expensive, so do yourself a favor and pack some before you go. If you are coming to Bali and planning on staying for longer than 30 days, you will have to renew your visa. We ended up using an agency to renew our visas, and they charged us 850,000 IDR per person, plus a trip to immigration only one time, and that taxi ride was about $30. So in total, it was $175 for Jay and I to renew our visas, and we put probably an hour's worth of effort into doing that. If you're going to do it yourself, you have to go to immigration 3 times. That's the biggest downfall when doing it yourself, is allotting the time to go and spend the time in immigration. You could probably get there cheaper if you're a solo traveler. If you have your own scooter, you could go there and back quite easily. Traffic is very heavy. We were in traffic the whole time, just to let you know. But it could be cheaper on gas if you had your own scooter, but you're paying to rent a scooter and gas on top of that. So I found them to be pretty much the same amount of money to renew your visa, but I liked it because we just gave our passports to the agent. He basically did all the work. We just had to show up for that one appointment, spend less than 45 minutes there, and we were done. Had our visas, had our passports back in our hands in 7 to 10 business days. And it was a very, very easy process. I would highly recommend using an agent. So number 12, and last but not least, you're probably thinking, okay, what the heck shouldn't I do when I come to Bali? And that is, do not drink the water. If you want to avoid Bali belly, then you're definitely going to want to purchase big jugs of water, either at the convenience store or at the grocery store. Do not even brush your teeth, run your toothbrush over the water. Don't even open your mouth in the shower. Just buy the big jugs of water and you'll be fine. We had such an amazing trip in Bali. We are definitely going back. We are going to plan it out a little bit better next time and hit Bali in between that April and October time frame, just so that we are out of the rainy season, don't have to worry about torrential downpours. For our upcoming travel plans, we are headed to Mexico. We are so excited to explore. We've only been to Mexico one other time, and that was only in Cancun, and it was only for a week vacation. So we are looking forward to exploring around Mexico, seeing what it has to offer. We're going to skip over the dangerous part right now, and we are going to hopefully stay there until July. And then July, we are headed back to Canada. We're going to stay and enjoy the Canadian summer. In September, we are going to head off for our big adventure. We'll be leaving sometime in September. We don't know exactly which countries we're going to go to just yet. We know there will be new countries to visit, and we do want to visit some of the countries we've already been to explore more areas, things we didn't see the first time around. So we are excited to explore especially Mexico, we are going to spend quite a bit of time there. So if you have been to Mexico, reach out to us, leave me a comment below, or you can reach out to us on Instagram. Tell me where you've been, what you liked. If you have any recommendations, I would love to hear them. In our recent budget video, I told you guys that Jay and I are up for the challenge of doing a carry-on only. So my next video, I am going to be doing a packing video, and we are going for 5 months with the carry-on only. I have no idea if we're going to be able to do it or not. So I'm hoping that will interest you, especially if you're thinking about doing a long-term travel. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, hit that like button down below and subscribe if Mexico is on your list of places to visit.